so that these properties are accessible outside this in the parent component. Now let's go to the parent component here. This app filter is having some properties. We can use those properties here, like all count is equal to, similarly electronics count is equal to, and footwear count is equal to, and fashion count so is equal to. So we can collect all the properties here. Now the products component should send the data. The products component should send the data. It should send the data into this. Generally, how we can send the data? Already we know filtering. That means, for example, here I am using a simple binding expression here, or we can write an expression there. But it is a property now. Property means we cannot use binding expression on the properties. Then what we have to do is we need to go to the component. In the component, I have to create some count, electronics count. And the count should contain the count of electronics. It should contain the count of electronics. That means in this data, how many electronic products are there, its count should come. We know, we learnt about filter. So this dot, products dot filter, X implies X dot. So filter based on category. If category is equal to electronics, then I need to get the length of those data. That means we are searching for electronic products and finding the length, how many are there, and we are printing that length in count, electronics count. Similarly, we have a property, so foot count, and this dot, products dot filter, X implies X dot, category is equal to footwear. Already we learned filter and the dot length. In arrays concept, we discussed how to filter the data, right? And filter and find functions we discussed. Fashion count is equal to this dot, products dot filter, X implies X dot, category is equal to fashion dot length. So all the details are collected here. We are accessing all the details here, right? So electronics, okay, electronics, fine. Now all the data is collected here. Count, foot count, fashion count. This we need to pass into filter component. That means filter component, all count. How we can get all count also? So public all count. How we can get all count? This dot products dot length, that will get all count. That's very simple, right? That means here now, all count, it will get value from all count. Electronics count, it get value from count. Footwear count, it will get value from foot count. And fashion, it will get value from fashion count. Okay. That means now the data from the parent component is sent into the filter component. Here data is coming. That data we have to display just beside this option. That means here I'm adding a square brace, and here I'm adding electronics count. So here I'm adding all count. In electronics, beside the name, I'm adding here electronics count. And here beside the name, I'm adding here electronics. Here I said footwear count. And here I'm adding some details of the fashion count. And you can see that those details are available here now. You can see all products 5, electronics 2, footwear 1, fashion 2. We can see that they are all available here. You can put anything. You can put links. You can put radios. You can filter using checkbox. You can do that by using drop downs. That means now here the data from the parent component is passed to child component. Child component is collecting the data and using the data here. That means how many electronics are there and how many footwear are there products, that information is present here. So we can get that information from the parent and display here. Now here from parent to child data transported, we are collecting it and we are using. Now important is when I change the category, I selected electronics. This electronics that value should be emitted to this parent. That means when you are changing the value, when you are changing the drop down, then when you are changing the drop down, change the drop down, this should send value to this table. But the change event that you write here is not accessible to another component. It's not possible. Then what you have to do is you have to use this change event to create a custom event. That means on filter changed. This is our custom event. This custom event is working when user is changing the value. What this event will do is this event should emit. It should emit the category name. 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 Now our parent component, the parent component. So we'll use that on filter change event. And on that event, it will collect the value that is emitted. Actually, our parent component will have a method. Now, this emitted value will be collected here. So on the method, we will collect that emitted value. How to access the event related properties? The event related property is this emitted value. That event related property we can access here by using $event. You know that, right? This value will be collected in this method by using reference. And this value will be used in this component. This is a lengthy hierarchy actually. That means when user changes any category, we generally write a change event. That change event is not recognized by parent component. So we create a custom event that works on change. This custom event collects the category name and emits the category name. That means now this event is using category name as an event property. this event will be accessed and used by your